hard to believe that Halloween is just around the corner. And a lot of kids getting ready. They've already had their costumes. They've already done the school activities. They're looking to go and get as much Halloween candy as possible. But what about those scary movies? What are your favorite scary movies? Or do you just hate scary movies? And it can be thrillers. It can be, psychological types of, crazy movies, or it could be gory movies. I want to hear from you. 217-629-7970. It is the WMAY morning news feed. I'm Greg Bishop, and we've been talking politics all day. We've been talking State House action all day, and even I need a break from it. All right, so let's hear about your favorite Halloween movies at 217-629-7970. I do want to just let you know, I'll be out at Small Cakes today, later on this evening from 5 to 8. I'm going to be hanging out with my guys Kyle and Jet from our sister stations, Real Men Wear Pink. We're taking your donations. We're going to make it real easy for you to donate. You can just scan a QR code. You can give us cash. You can give us a check. We could take your credit card information. Either way, we're raising money for Real Men Wear Pink. It is, of course, Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Do what you can, or you can go right now. Donate online, WMAY.com/pink. You can read our story. My wife, Megan, has just an incredibly compelling story, and it's really gotten a lot of people's attention. The importance of early detection and making sure that you don't delay getting treatment and finding out what your options are, because, as Megan says, you do not want to give cancer time. So early detection, saving lives, and the importance of getting care when you need it, and not delaying that. So vitally important. So help us raise money for the American Cancer Society, because the incredible work they do to research, to provide screenings, and to provide assistance for those that get that awful diagnosis of breast cancer. So we've been raising funds. I raised $5,000, and that got me some pink nails. And if I raise $7,500, so we're getting close there, I will dye my hair pink. I'll permanently dye it pink. Maybe some pink streaks or something, but definitely a way to highlight how cancer is absolutely horrible, and the treatments can really do a number on people. And those who go through some chemotherapy lose their hair, and they also could possibly damage their nails for a long time. So that's why we focused on the pink fingernails and looking at if I raise money, if I get to $7,500 in my goal, I will dye my hair pink. All right, so let's make it happen. Still a few days left in the campaign. Go to WMAY.com/pink and join us out at Small Cakes tonight from 5 to 8, and we'll be raising funds there as well. All right, 217-629-7970. Let's hear from you about what your favorite scary movies are. Good morning.
Hey, morning, Greg.
Hey.
First off, the first Nightmare on Elm Street traumatized me as a child.
I'm the same way, man. I remember when my older brothers were watching that, I was probably like 4 or 5 years old. I ran up the stairs, went to my daddy's in the kitchen, and I said, Dad, we're never going to buy that Freddy Krueger movie.
Oh, I didn't sleep for a week.
I didn't sleep for years. He haunted my dreams, literally.
Oh, no, and good for you raising all the money for cancer, Greg. That's awesome that people take part in doing things like that, because it's really needed in this world today.
It really is. No question about it. No, I appreciate that.
No, hey, I hate to go off topic, but would you clarify for me what they did to amend that HCRCA bill? I mean, is it pretty much just tabled till July, or?
So, it essentially says that any COVID mitigation can be enforced, and it's not a violation of the Healthcare Right of Conscience Act. What they did was they took out from the previous amendment that they proposed, they took out the enforcement examples like allowing for termination. So that's not spelled out in the actual amended language, but you can assume that people are still going to see avenues that they might be able to enforce it through possible termination or other types of discrimination. But it's only dealing with COVID. But what they also did is they removed the immediate effective date, which lowered the vote threshold to pass it, but it also delays when it can be effective to July 1st of 2022.
Well, I was just wondering, because we're in a situation now where that law could definitely help us out some, and I was just wondering if it was still possible to be able to use it.
People are suing, and some courts are looking at it and saying, and they're granting temporary restraining orders. So we'll watch closely what happens with all that in the months ahead. I appreciate the call. 217-629-7970. That's the phone number, 217-629-7970. What is your favorite scary movie? 217-629-7970. I had someone tell me that they weren't too fond of scary movies. And they did enjoy some of the 90s kind of, milquetoast scary movies like Scream or I Know What You Did Last Summer. I was not a fan of those. Gore is a little too much at times, and it can be over the top, or it can also be, somewhat artsy. But if it's just gore for gore's sake, I'm just not a fan of that. However, there's one scary movie. I don't know if many people are aware of it. You're aware of the Hellraiser franchise, but there's one scary movie in that franchise that I think is probably one of the best scary movies I've ever seen in my life. And it's called Hellraiser Inferno. Definitely R-rated, not for the faint of heart. Went straight to home video back in the late 90s. It didn't even get a theater run. But Hellraiser Inferno is one of those movies where every time I watch, even just talking about it, I get chills. I don't know why, but it's not super gory until, you get to a certain scenes, but it's more of a psychological thriller than anything. The synopsis is that there's a detective. He's got a wife and a kid. He has a partner, but he also has a cocaine habit. He also has a habit of visiting prostitutes. And you see these things. He's conducting these behaviors early in the movie. And then all of a sudden, people all around him start dying, start being brutally murdered. And he doesn't have anything to do with it. But his partner ends up getting murdered. People that he comes in contact with started getting murdered. And they hear that it's this guy called the Engineer that's doing it. But then all of a sudden, as the movie progresses, it all starts to look like he's the one that's the murderer. And he claims he's innocent. It's just such a well-done, well-written Hellraiser, and it's totally different than the other Hellraisers. I think Pinhead's in Hellraiser Inferno, the fourth one, for like not even 5 minutes. But if you get a chance, seek that out. It's really good. I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. It's your favorite Halloween or scary movie. Good morning. You're on WMAY.
Hey, morning, Bishop.
Hey.
I love all the old school, the Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street. Those are really great. But recently, probably in the last year, I found it's a classic, maybe a cult classic. It's Carnival of Souls. Are you familiar with this one?
I am not familiar with Carnival of Souls. No, I'm not familiar with that.
It's black and white, and it's very Hitchcock-esque, I guess you could say, where it's got a lot of psychological stuff.
Sure.
But it's really great. It takes place in, middle America type of thing, and a group of girls are in a bad car accident. There's only one survivor, and she starts having these visions, and then she moves out to, I think Utah or somewhere around there, and she starts having this just drawn to this giant temple, and a lot of craziness ensues. But it's not gory. It's all psychological, but you can watch it free on like Tubi or Pluto.
Okay.
I highly recommend it.
What's it called again?
Carnival of Souls.
Carnival of Souls. I'll see if I can find that. I appreciate that. 217. Yep, you too. 217-629-7970. Your favorite scary movies this morning, as it's rainy and it's just a October day as we get close to Halloween. Good morning. What's your favorite scary movie? Go ahead. You're on the air. Going once. Going twice. Third time's a charm. Good morning. You're on WMAY. Who's your favorite scary movie? What? Let me talk. Let me hold on. Let me take a step back, deep breath. All right. What's your favorite scary movie?
You should start out with Rubber Baby Buggy bumpers before each show. Then get your tongue in order. But
the arsonist had oddly shaped feet. The Human Torch was denied a bank loan.
Okay. Vincent Price, all the House of Blood, Pit and the Pendulum. Let's see, what's the other one? To quote the Raven. All those, especially the Pit and the Pendulum. And then later on with his anything by Vincent Price. It had a little more suspense, as that one fellow was saying.
Yeah.
A little more,
and sometimes gore is just takes away from it, right?
There was gore in them.
Well, but not the level of the gore that we see today. I mean, the gore that we see today in movies is over the top, and you're seeing people's extremities getting cut off and stuff. It's just
sure. Well, the Pit and the Pendulum had you being cut. I don't know if you're familiar with that one. So they put you on this swinging pendulum. They had a blade on it. They kept getting closer to you, and then of course eventually cut you in half. But it was an old late '60s drive-in movie. I think the last one I saw at the drive-in with my mother used to take us to these was the Last House on the Left. That was pretty good.
I've heard about that, and I've heard it's horrifying. I don't think I've ever seen it.
You check out the original Last House on the Left.
That's what I've heard, like the original film, not any of the remakes. I'm going to have to seek that out because I've heard about that for decades now. Hey,
imagine yourself being a 10-year-old seeing that.
I'll try to put myself into the mindset of a 10-year-old if I do indeed find a copy of that original film. I appreciate it. 217-629-7970 is the number. Good morning. What's your favorite scary movie?
Well, at my age, there are a lot of them back there with Boris Karloff, but the one I really liked the most was Silver Bullet with
Is that a Halloween movie? Is that a werewolf movie?
Yes. It's where so it's a person who turns into a werewolf, but it's an actual preacher that becomes the werewolf. And nobody knows that. I mean, nobody knows the preacher is the werewolf, and he's killing kids. And
oh my gosh, when did this come out?
This came out years ago with what's his name? The actor, blonde haired. He's
that one guy that was in that one movie.
Yeah. But it was a fantastic movie, Silver Bullet.
I'll see if I can find that. I appreciate that. 217-629-7970 is the phone number. Made me think of Werewolf in London. When I saw that as a little kid, I probably shouldn't have seen it as a little kid. That was, oh boy. The progression of his dead buddy. Like the first time he sees him as a ghost, he's fine. And then the next time he sees him, he's like decomposing more and more and more every time you see his buddy as a ghost. That was enough to put me over the top as a little kid. 217-629-7970. Good morning. What's your favorite scary movie?
I'm going to have to go with Hocus Pocus. Sarah Jessica Parker. It's terrifying.
With Sarah Jessica Parker. Is it terrifying only because she's in it?
Yes.
Appreciate the call. Oh, that's too funny. Hocus Pocus. He's probably also just deathly scared of the Addams Family and the Munsters as well. He probably couldn't watch that stuff late at night as a kid. Good morning. What's your favorite scary movie?
Well, I believe the title itself was called Werewolf. I believe it was maybe like 1989. I was about 9 years old. And they had that USA Network with like Gilbert Gottfried or that crazy Rhonda chick. And it was around this time, and my mom, she's a single mom, so she couldn't keep up with me on everything. She said, "You better not watch that. You're going to have nightmares." I said, "I'll be fine." And the part that still sticks with me, Greg, is in the middle of the night, these two people, a guy and a girl, were inside a VW bug, and this werewolf jumped on top of the roof of this bug and just ripped it apart, ripped them apart. And for 1 week straight, I had to sleep with my mom. She slept on the couch. I had to sleep with her on the couch because I couldn't sleep in my own bed.
That's too funny. That is too funny. Yeah, you think you're a big boy when you're watching these movies, and then you watch them, and it forever changes you. 217-629-7970. Greatly appreciate everybody taking part and sharing with me your scary movie stories. I will add a couple of others that freaked me out as a kid. Gremlins, Critters, I really enjoyed Robocop, and I'm only putting that into the scary movie category because, man, the first Robocop, there was, it's very gory, but the scene where one of the bad guys gets dumped into a toxic waste pool, like watching that as a kid was horrifying. was just horrible because it wasn't like, camera tricks or anything. No, it was the actor and his fingers are falling off and his face is, it was just so bad. So I kind of do put that into that category of scary movies from when I was a kid, even though I loved Robocop. Like the characters were pretty incredible as a kid, drawing all the Robocop figures and stuff. Good morning, last call. You're on the air. What's your favorite scary movie?
My favorite scary movie, I'm gonna have to say, and it's really weird, but it's E.T.
E.T.
Growing up, I watched E.T. once, and I was like 5. It scared the holy bejesus out of me watching that little clay poop. Just walking around, it was absolutely exactly, absolutely. And then all of a sudden, the astronauts came in, and it was just like, what the crap is going on here? And I mean, granted, now it's perfectly fine, but still. And one of the funniest scary movies that I think is great right now is Halloween H2O, because it's one of my favorite ones too, because Tyra Banks dies.
Oh, stop it! Oh, come on.
No, come on. I mean, seriously, though. You really just want to see her die, to be honest. And then, the one guy...
Movie magic. It's all movie magic.
Absolutely. But the one couple, they go downstairs, start making out and everything. They're getting slaughtered.
Right.
I mean, come on. Yeah, the one guy looks in the mirror. Mike Myers is popping out of that mirror and stabbing the dude in the face.
And he's going to be like, yeah, baby. I appreciate the call. All right. Another series that I was never scared of, and I don't know why. I don't know why the Army of Darkness stuff never scared me, or the Evil Dead. Actually, you know what? The first Evil Dead's pretty grotesque. Like the first one. They remade it a few years later. That one was all right, but then the series was just awesome with Bruce Campbell. Good stuff. Guys, phone lines are jammed. I got to take a break, all right? It's WMAY 827, all right?